guys, it's Brian here from CNR Reviews. We got Chad in the background there, and this is part 3 of the Accessorizing Your AR-15 Colt M4 videos, set of videos that we're doing. In this video, we are going to change out the grip here and also the stock, and then I'm actually going to be talking about optics as well and changing out the charging handle. So, alright, here we go. There is a bolt in the bottom of your classic style A2 handle. Okay, and most of the time it is just a little flathead, standard screwdriver. Sometimes it can be a hex key as well, or an Allen screw or something like that. This one I got kind of lucky. It is a regular flathead. So what I'm going to do is take my screwdriver, just put it down inside, and start unscrewing the handle. I'll hold on to the handle, guys. Make sure it doesn't just pop off, okay? Because there is something in there that I'm going to show you that if you lose it, you're kind of screwed. So until you can get another one. So it is a longer screw, so just be patient. It'll come loose. Okay, I think mine is loose. Now, when you start to take off the grip, you will notice a very tiny spring right here. Okay, did you get that? Okay. There's a little tiny spring, and it goes into this little tiny spot here. That is for your safety. Do not lose it. Sometimes they're really, really tight, and when you take these things off, they kind of go different places. Looks like my screw's not out all the way.
We have actually ran into one of the AR variants with 2 screws. I'm sorry, with two springs. Sorry.
That is actually the Smith & Wesson M&P 15-22. So it actually has 2 of these little springs, and you just kind of have to press it up and in. Now see, that's where that spring goes into the handle. We're going to be changing it out to a Hogue grip. As you can see, I dumped out the bolt as well. Now, I believe the Hogues do come with a bolt, with an extra bolt for the AR. I went with the standard one because I felt, hey, you know what, it fits, it does well, it's long enough, I know it's long enough, and I like the little washer on it too. So, alright, so the way to do it is, what I always like to do is I like to get my screw in first. So I just kind of take it, kind of jiggle it around, and it'll come through. It'll come through like that. I don't know if you guys can see that there, but it'll come through the center. So there you go. Now, put your screwdriver in to hold it. Put your little spring in the notch. When you put it back on, make sure the spring goes in the hole. Okay, you may have to drop your screwdriver at this point. Flip it upside down. And since your bolt is already in the hole, just start screwing in.
It's very simplistic, guys.
Very simple.
Yeah, this one, this is just one more accessory on an AR that just makes it so nice to be able to swap out parts to whatever you want.
And guys, there are thousands and thousands of different types of grips. Find one that you really like. I really like the Hogue ones. I have it on, well, I'm putting it on this AR, and I also have it on my Smith & Wesson M&P 15-22.
There's people, guys, that make custom grips. There's all kinds of stuff. So, yeah. You know, make sure you try out different ones. The Hogue ones, though, are our favorites.
Yeah. They also have finger grooves on the front, which is kind of nice for enhanced grip. Now, just make sure that it's nice and tight. Don't over tighten it. Don't try to strip it out or anything. If you want to put some blue Loctite on it, that's perfectly fine, guys. I wouldn't go with red because who knows, your grip could break, your screw could strip out, something like that. You're going to need to get that out of there. So, at some point, if you need to get it out, don't put red, that's permanent. Put blue, temporary, it'll hold it in there. So, and they just feel great. They also have other grips, they're called sniper grips, guys, and they have kind of a fatter back part that actually goes up on this here. Chad has one on his Ruger 556E, and they're comfy, but sometimes they push your hand a little bit forward. I like to have a little bit more play with the top, with this little part of my webbing here on my hand, so that's why I don't go with those type of grip. But it's whatever works for you guys. So next, we're going to change out the Rogers Super Stock to a Magpul CTR stock. Now, this Magpul CTR stock has been on a few of the rifles, and you guys have probably seen it in a few of the videos. I really like it on the AR. And this stock goes on my Smith & Wesson M&P 1522, so because it fits on there really, really well. So, first thing you do, you unlock your Super Stock. Now, there's nothing wrong with this stock. This is just showing you how to take it off and put a different one on. Now, what I like to do is fully extend it all the way to the end, and then push down on these little, there's a tab here and a tab here that kind of goes through. And what I do is pull up on it, just slide it right off, guys. Now, this doesn't push these all the way to the top of their little slot, so you can't just push that and pull it directly off, okay? You have to actually put it with your fingers or a pair of pliers or something like that. I would recommend your fingers. Maybe wear gloves if you have sensitive fingers, and pull up on that, because it is pretty strong. It does bite into your fingers a little bit, like that. So, alright, now the Magpul works the same way.
Now guys, before you choose a stock, you want to make sure that you have the proper buffer tube. Just one really quick reference on the buffer tubes is it all depends on the diameter. Sometimes though you can kind of, well, it's not always true, but it works a lot of the time, is that a mil-spec buffer tube has got a flat up and down rear end. It's flat right there. The commercial buffer tube has a sloped with, I would probably say like almost a 45-degree end to it. That's how you can kind of tell the difference, but it's still advised that you guys measure the buffer tubes. Magpul will actually tell you what the sizes are to actually make sure that you have the right one and get the right stock. So
yes, and make sure you get the right one. There, we've seen a lot of these stocks specifically at the Bargain Cave at Cabela's, because people buy a commercial when they need a mil-spec, or they buy a mil-spec when they need a commercial one. So this one is the law enforcement edition, so I'm assuming that this is a mil-spec buffer tube on here. So now, just slide it right on. And again, you got the two little tabs. I like to flip mine up. Pull the tabs up. This one does. There we go. Now this one does have a little bit of wobble to it. But as soon as you lock this down, wobble's gone. And that's the cool thing about the Magpul CTR, is it has this little lock. The Rogers Super Stock also has that lock, and like I was saying before, nothing wrong with this stock, guys. It actually has performed really well in drop tests. It's performed just as well as the Magpul stocks. It's very comparable to the Magpul MOE, with one exception. It does have this lock, and it does work pretty nicely. So, I am keeping this stock, so it's not one that you throw away. But I really like the CTR. So, that goes on there. Now, I said I was going to talk about optics and changing out your charging handle. Okay, so let's change out the charging handle first, because I actually already have my scope mounted. This is a Nikon P223 scope, and it's on P-series mounts as well. Now these are just going to slide directly on. They don't, that's the way they do it. They slide on, they lock on with a little screw. So you have to take off the charging handle to get to it. So when you do that, you pop your little pin in the back here, guys. Your little takedown pin. And the Colt M4 has always been super smooth with that. What you do is you just take your charging handle, and you pull out your bolt and carrier, and then your charging handle, actually you pull it back, push it down, and it comes right out.
It's the same way, guys, when you disassemble the firearm.
Yep.
Those charging handles, I believe, are all mil spec. They should be fully interchangeable. So if you buy one online, you should feel pretty safe about being able to install it on your firearm.
Yeah. Now this one, guys, this is not the original. This actually took the original off. We changed it to a Voltor BCM gunfighter grip. This is the medium size, so that we can charge it with one hand, or even one finger, because we are going to be running a scope. It's going to be hard to get your fingers underneath that scope to actually charge the weapon. So, Nikon P series, and we're going to just slide it right on here. Now you can do this, there we go. You can do this without without the scope on the rings.
It's actually advisable.
Yeah, it is actually advisable.
Yeah. All right.
So we're gonna pop the screws in here real quick.
Now that's how to do with these. Pretty much the scope rings are pretty simplistic, guys. The most important thing though is choosing an optic or something to shoot your AR with. If you get a flat top railed AR, doesn't come with any type of sights at all, you need to really think about it, because there's so many options out there. There is literally hundreds of options. You can do a holographic red dot. You can do a standard red dot. You can run a magnifier on a red dot. You can
get
scope.
a really nice set of iron sights and put them on there if you really wanted to.
And there's no issue. This one in particular actually came with iron sights and a charging handle. Whatever you want to run with it, it's really important to choose something though, because you can't just shoot it without anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but you ain't gonna hit anything. So.
Well, that's true.
So if you wanted to switch out for your charging handle, like we said, they're pretty much all the same.
Yep. So this is again the Voltor BCM gunfighter, and we're gonna put this in. There's got a little tab on the side here, guys. It's on both sides. So you want to make sure that you get past that area where you can actually put that in. There you go. Keep it up like that. Grab your bolt. Put your bolt back in.
Now,
Push
guys,
a little pin back in. There you go, guys. There's your scope installed.
if you have questions about disassembling the bolt carrier group and to get to your firing pin and cleaning, we have a video up already of that. Check that out. If you do have questions, feel free to ask. This is our Accessorizing Your AR Part 3, our final video. You can go further if that's what you want to do.
So as you guys can see, I have changed out the dust cover with an aftermarket dust cover. There are plenty of videos on YouTube that are really good showing that process. It is kind of a pain in the butt. Just be patient. Make sure that this thing is nicely oiled, this little pin here, and just take your time with it.
Don't lose the little washer that locks on the end.
There's a little lock washer at the end, guys. Don't lose that, or you're gonna have to order some new ones, and they're kind of expensive. So
3 of them for $4.
For a washer, it's freaking expensive for $4. Anyway, if you guys have any questions on the Colt M4 or Accessorizing Your AR or any of our series, our 3-part series here, let us know and we will try to answer those questions as soon as possible. This is Chad and Ryan from CNR Reviews. Thanks for watching, guys.